Sandra's World, party time, excellent! Okay, I'll stop. Sandra here, and welcome to my channel, Starsinpalm. And we are doing another Plan With Me video, finally! Yeah, to me it kind of feels like forever since I filmed one, since the last one I did was in July, and yeah, Sandra-Palooza is over, so yeah, I kind of didn't write as much stuff in July because I was so busy doing stuff, which is a good thing, right? So for this month, I kind of didn't have a plan for this page. I kind of just was like, let me just go with the flow. And I really love, as you guys know, love watercolors. So I figured I would kind of just fill in certain boxes from these weekly pages with a quote that I really liked using my watercolors because I wasn't going to be doing as much in those specific days anyhow. So I figured I might as well just make my page look really, really pretty and freaking awesome. Or at least I think so. Hopefully you do. I just really love the way it looks with the quote, and I just thought I would kind of create like a gradient look to it. I wasn't sure at first what I was going to do as far as that, but I kind of liked the idea of adding different colors, and I was originally, believe it or not, intending to keep this page kind of monochromatic. Other than the pink, I was just going to add a lot of black because I think pink and black look really nice together, but then I started doing this quote and adding colors, and as you guys know, my plans generally change when I'm doing these videos, and I'm just kind of like, you know what, I'm just gonna hit it with some color up in here. Up in here. I'm sorry guys, I'm in a really silly mood. But yeah, I just started adding a bunch of different colors, and then I decided to start kind of creating a little bit of a gradient. So I added the first base color in watercolors, and then after those kind of dried, I started adding in the other colors as well. And I know a few of you have asked me to do kind of more like basic watercolor type videos, and I will try to get those done at some point. I'm not an expert, but I definitely enjoy watercolors, and my major is art, so it's something that I obviously enjoy doing, and I'm pretty self-taught in most of this. I do have one video that I did a while back ago where I talked about some of the different watercolors that I use. If I can, I will try and link it in the description box below if I remember more like it. And as always, I will also link in the description box below all the items that I use in my videos in case you want to try some out. And whatever I don't link generally is no longer available because some of the things have been in my stash for like ages. But I usually try to find something that's comparable to whatever it is that I'm using that I know is good and I've tried personally. So no fear as I'm coloring in the no fear, or the fear part. Yeah, basically I just kind of added colors randomly. I didn't really have a plan for this. I just really like the way that that looks, and as you guys know, I kind of just wing it most of the times. How do you guys like my watermelon nails? I did some watermelon nails. Seriously, lately I've been really lazy about doing designs on my nails because it takes time and it's hard to do your left hand with your right hand, but I did it, and there's my head. And it's a hot mess, but that's okay. I'm rocking the sweatpants and the buns while creating this video pretty much. And then I had that Project Life card in my stash, which I decided to cut down and just kind of eyeball it and add little bits in there because I really liked the hearts. And I've had these in my stash for a while, but I know they are from Mambi. If I can find the exact pack they're from, I will link it in the description box below. But I know sometimes, like, if I've had it there for a long time, I can't always remember, and I don't want to link it unless I can find the specific one. And those actually have sort of like a glossy finish, which is why it's taken me so long to use them, because I generally like more of a matte finish to my cards. But since I was doing this and I really liked the pattern, I decided just to use what I had on hand. And I actually end up really liking the way that it looks, so I'm glad that I used these. And I basically kind of just start building my layout, as I say. If you do scrapbooking or you've ever created pages, it's kind of like a process. You kind of just start adding things, seeing how it feels to you, and you go from there. There's no wrong way of doing this. For people who might feel pressured, like you can use stickers or you can use watercolors or you can just write in there and not add much at all. I mean, it's really what feels right to you. I just have fun looking back at my pages when I add extra stuff, and as you guys know, I love mixed media, so I love stamping and adding all kinds of things. That Today stamp is actually from the Creative Retreat stamp from last month's kit that I had in my stash, so I figured I would use that. And then I kind of just underlined that with my Sharpie fine point in the pink color, and then I decided to add like little bullet points with my black pen just in that one area. But by the time I upload this, I don't know if I'll be on the correct day. Yeah, it'll probably be by tonight, so hopefully it'll still be on the day. And I'm sorry if there's any noise in the background. Seriously, people in my house are so loud. And those little, I'm gonna call them bullet points. It's like a little bullet point stamp. I had that in my stash as well from an old Heidi Swapp like cheapy acrylic set, but for some reason it worked perfect for this, so I was like, heck yeah. And if I can find it, I will link it, but I don't know if it's still available because when I bought it at the time, it was like clearanced out, which is why I ended up getting it because I usually do not buy acrylic stamps. So I was like, I'll give it a chance for like a few bucks. So, and then I just decided to add some watercolors on top of that paper, which at first I actually wasn't sure if it was just going to sit on top because of the glossiness to it, but it actually ended up kind of just drying and absorbing into it, which was really nice. But I kind of did wing it on that, so YOLO. That's a perfect example of just trying things out and seeing if they work on your spreads because you never know till you try it. A lot of times on camera, I will literally be trying something for the first time, and you know, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And sometimes I still leave it in when it doesn't work, just so you guys can see that it's all right to mess up or whatever. Then I have my Wink of Stella brush, which is by Curatalk, if I'm saying that correctly. I love everything that Curatalk makes, pretty much. And that pen especially has like a brush end to it, so it's really nice for like script and for like just drawing things. And I actually have like another backup of that pen. That's how much I love it and use it. So just so you guys know, the obsession with pens and me are real. Plus, I love that it's kind of like it's kind of like a brush pen, even though it's not, if that makes any sense. I will link it in the description box below if you guys are in the market for a good pen. I'm constantly obsessing about brushes and pens that are good for writing since I really enjoy doing my own script writing. I also really enjoy using my watercolor, my brush pen. I don't know why I'm calling it my watercolor brush pen. That one is a medium tip, and if I can find one similar to it, I will link it below as well. I was just writing date night here because I thought it would look cute and kind of balance out my pages by doing some more brush script on the other page without doing too much, because I did kind of want that quote just to stand out from the page, but also not like make it unbalanced, if that makes sense. And then I'm also going to be creating that same sort of gradient look just because I really love gradients. Like, it's an obsession. If you watch my channel, you probably know by now. I mean, I think I did a gradient in my last planner pages as well, but it was kind of like a more simple gradient, you know? But yeah, pretty much struggle is real with that. So I just did that, and I'm just kind of, like I said, balancing out the pages. There's not really that much to it, and I feel I kept these pages simple while still adding things to it. And I'm just using the water itself to kind of just merge the colors together and create that gradient look, because if I just laid down the watercolor and left it as is, you would not get that gradient. It would look kind of a little bit harsh. So I try to just blend it in so that it looks more natural. And then I just stamped a little camera, which is from that same Creative Retreat stamp set, which I think you have to buy the kit in order to get the stamp. I'm almost 100% sure. So if you have a nice camera stamp in your stash, you could also use that. And I will also link all the other ones that I'm using that are available. And then I'm just using my Versamark chalk inks. I used the purple to kind of create those little chevronies with this wood set that's from Amy Tan, which if you generally like things to be perfect and not messed up at all, I wouldn't necessarily use wood stamps because they're harder to see than a clear stamp, if that makes sense. And I do have a Stamping 101 video if you want to know more about stamps and you're new to them. And if I remember, I will link it, but it should be on one of my playlists. You generally, if you're going to be stamping wood stamps, you have to be prepared for them not to come out perfect. I think that it adds character to my pages when it kind of isn't perfect, and I don't mind it. So if you're someone who would mind it, I would suggest just sticking with clear stamps, because I kind of had to get used to that as well with wood stamps. Like, hey, it's not always going to stamp perfectly, but that's okay, you know? And I actually now really like the way that it looks when it's like slightly off or inverted or just like tilted to one side. I just think it looks really cute, believe it or not. So I did add that gym word right there for the day I'm going to the gym, and then I added those little corners on some of the boxes randomly. I cut like the scraps that I had left over from that Project Life card, and I really liked the way that it looks. So usually I try to kind of use everything I have up, because usually when you cut something down and you have the scraps to it, generally I don't end up using those. So I just try to kind of like fit in whatever I can to that. And I'm also adding that same gradient to that gym word that I added to my last thing, just because I want to keep it all looking cohesive and nice. So that's pretty much what's going on with that. And this is like my second time trying to film a voiceover for this video without having a bunch of noise or something happening where my phone goes off, so hopefully this will be successful. I had these little alpha word stickers in my stash, and they kind of have that typewriter font look to them, so I really like that, so I figured I would just add some because it kind of goes with the look of the layout in my opinion. And generally you can pick these up at Joann's in their dollar section or $1.50 section, I think. I don't know if they still have those or not. And then I had these banner stickers, which I've had in my stash for a while, but they are from American Crafts, and if I can find something comparable, I will link it, but I've had these for a while, so I have no idea. But they're basically like those chalkboard banner stickers, and I thought they would be perfect for this spread, so I cut down one of the smaller ones, as you can see, and I just placed it on different little boxes, and then I had one of the bigger ones that I knew I wanted to add another one somewhere in the spread, because I really like the way that it looks, like the little like chalkboardy look to it or whatever. And if you're going to use one of these, I recommend having a nice white pen so that you can write on them if that's what you plan on doing. And for me, that's what I'm going to end up doing, is just writing stuff on it. And I have my Signo Uniball pen, which I actually picked up from Kiki K, but I had it previously to that. When it ran out, I just happened to be buying a planner from Kiki K's website, and since they happen to have one, I just picked it up from them. But I will link to any art store where I find it. It's just like one of the best white pens that I've ever found. Signo in general makes really good pens, and I believe Posca has also a really good white pen, but I've only personally used the Signo, and I really love it. They can literally put white on anything, and it usually shows up really well, which is what I like about it. Now I'm just going in and adding little notes for the days. Basically, the week's not even done yet, so I'm sure I will be adding more notes to this spread as the week goes by. So that's why certain areas are kind of just left blank, because I don't know if I will necessarily be adding more days to, like, let's say the 7th, 8th, and 9th, or even the 6th as well, depending on what day this goes live. So that's why those are generally left kind of on the emptier side, because I generally do go back and write a few more things in. And I'm just adding a few finishing details, stamping out a few more little things here and there just to finish off my layout, and I just kind of keep going till it looks right to me. I don't think there's any wrong way to basically embellish and add things to your layouts, whatever looks right to you, and I thought adding those would just balance out the fact that I have them on the other side. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these Plan With Me videos. I'm enjoying making them for you guys. If you like them, please be sure and give me a big thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. As always, leave me comments in the description below. I love to hear from you guys, or if you have any ideas that you want for upcoming videos. I promise I have some cool things in the works for you guys, so I'm excited for you to see them, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!